sometimes. Because they didn't ask enough questions. They didn't really understand what it is that you wanted. Because they didn't care enough to ask you really and truly what was going on for you. Done that lots. Especially on the impulse though.
Oh, really? Okay, what we're going to do, we'll pass it over to Vesna. It's okay, you can just relax now. Vesna, talk to us about the psychology behind the seller, and I guess their motivation, and what are some techniques that people can apply to themselves to help them get over the fear of selling?
So where would you like me to start? That's a big question.
It was a big question, wasn't it? Let's start with overcoming the fear of selling. What's the technique we can use?
Okay. So there's a number of different ways you can overcome a fear, whether it be of selling or anything else. Essentially 2 different ways. Once you've identified what the fear is, and that's the key as well, because some people think it's a fear of rejection that they really have when it comes to the sales process, when it's actually other things. I've come across people who, sell multi-million-dollar trucks to customers, and they have, beliefs like salespeople are sleazy, and they're salespeople. So, that's a really good belief to have when you're selling, isn't it? So it can be a whole range of different things that's underpinning the fear. It could be a whole range of self-beliefs. Like, how many people here believe it's okay to ask for money? Yeah, who believes it's not okay?
Broke.
Yeah. And who here believes they're deserving of success? Okay, so not everyone once again. Who believes that they can succeed rather than fail? Once again, a few short. Okay. And who believes they're good enough to have what they want? In business and in life. Just about everyone. That's good. Okay, so these are some examples of other things that could be getting in the way. So, first of all, it's important to identify what is the specific fear or self-doubt, and then address that specifically. Because if you work on something other than what's the real problem, guess what? The problem remains. So that's the first step. Secondly, you want to address the fear. Now, there are 2 ways of addressing a fear. On a conscious level or a subconscious or unconscious level. If you address a fear or a self-doubt on a conscious level, what you're doing is you're doing a lot of talking, a lot of verbalising, a lot of analysing and wanting to understand the fear. Now, that's fine. That's fine and well. Just remember, fears and self-doubts reside at the unconscious level. So if you're working on the fear or self-doubt at a conscious level, it's going to take a long time and may not resolve it at all. Okay, that's been my experience. If you work on an unconscious level in resolving the fear or self-doubt, you're working on where the fear or the self-doubt resides. Okay, that's where the underlying issues are. And it's a lot faster to make a change at the unconscious level than it is at a conscious level. Okay, so 2 different ways. I'll give you an example. How many people here use affirmations? I can do it, I'm a really good salesperson, and so on and so on. Do they work? Yeah. Do you believe them? Yeah. That's why it worked. Okay. The main reason affirmations don't work is because people don't believe them. Anytime there's a conflict or difference between what you affirm or say to yourself and what you really believe, what you really believe always wins out because your beliefs reside at the unconscious level. Your unconscious mind always wins. You know, your unconscious mind is like your gut, your instinct. You all have an instinct, don't you? Yeah? Who trusts their instinct all the time? 100%, every single time. Therein lies the problem. One of the major reasons why people do not succeed as much as they would like to. Fear of trusting themselves. Okay, does that go part of the way?
Yeah, so to identify, I guess, the root causes here, is there a specific question that we can ask ourselves to bring all this basically crap up?
There's a lot of questions you can ask.
Give us a couple of good ones.
I think the first point is to identify when you're in the midst of a sales process. Like when you're about to pick up the phone, about to go into a meeting, notice your little self-talk, your voice. Like who here has a little voice that just won't shut up? Keeps going and going, yeah? Listen to that voice, because in that voice you will find a whole bunch of fears and self-doubts. Okay, so pay attention to that voice. It'll give you a lot of clues as to what your fears and self-doubts are. Something else you can do is you could write a list. And a really good thing to put at the top is a heading like, selling is important to me because, and then write down everything that comes to mind. Do a brain dump. And write for as long as it takes, whether it's hours or days or however long it takes, until you run out of information. It's a very good exercise to do because amongst all of that, conscious material is a lot of unconscious material as well. It's an exercise I get all of my clients to do, depending on what we're working on, and it's amazing what comes up. So you becoming consciously aware of what's really going on at an unconscious level is really important, and so that's one way you can do it, by doing a little bit of self-analysis.
And once we've identified the root cause, is there a particular visualization that we can do to kind of knock it out of the water?
Knock it out of the water. Pull the rug out from under it. Definitely, definitely. The techniques I use are a combination of NLP, timeline therapy and hypnotherapy techniques, basically behavioural psychology techniques, sort of like a guided visualisation, meditation sort of process with a structure around it. And essentially, the first step in that process is to identify what it is that the belief or self-doubt is. Once you've done that, it's about understanding where it all began, finding the root cause. And a lot of our personality, including our fears and self-doubts, get developed in the first 21 years of our life. And most of it in the first 7 years of our life. That's where most of our personality gets formed. So chances are, something's happened earlier on in your life that has resulted in some sort of fear or self-doubt, which you've carried through to your current life, which is holding you back. And sometimes it doesn't come up until in your 20s or 30s or 40s or at whatever point in your life you're ready to deal with it. And then once you've identified it, it's about going through the process of actually resolving it and learning from it. And this is really important. The only reason we have fears and self-doubts is so we can learn from them. Once we learn from them, the need to have them disappears. Okay, so that's what the process allows you to do as well.
And the visualization, is there a quick visualization that you can give us?
Well, the one I've talked about requires a bit of preparation,
yep.
And it's probably not appropriate to do that one. However, there are other visualizations that I can certainly take you through if you're interested.
Anyone want to hear visualization? We'll hypnotise you all to act like chickens. Or not.
Okay, a good one to do is to focus on what you want before you go into a meeting. Like, how many people here think about what they want and focus on the outcome turning out exactly how they want it before they go into a meeting or pick up the phone? Few people. Fantastic. That's what successful business people and sports people do. And the rest of you, what are you thinking about? What if they don't buy? Or what if they don't like me? Or what if they stuff up? Or what if? And that usually is what happens. You get what you focus on. So this technique is about visualising a successful outcome. Okay, so do you want to play along? Do you want to have a little practice? Okay. So all you need to do is think about maybe an upcoming meeting or a phone call or something you have planned in the next day or two or 3 or a week. Maybe a sales call or sales meeting. All think of one? No one's making sales calls or meetings? There's a problem. Okay. If you do this technique the way I guide you through it and follow the instructions exactly, you're going to feel a lot better about making those calls and meetings. Okay? So, I want you to think about maybe your day tomorrow. How about we do that? Have you got anything planned for tomorrow? Some meetings, some phone calls, some report writing, whatever it is you do? Yeah. Okay. So I'd like for you to just close your eyes for a moment, please, and go inside and just relax. And I'd like for you to think of a time in the past when you felt really, really relaxed. Maybe you were lying on a beach, had a holiday recently, had a massage, or just relaxing and chilling out, not doing much. Take yourself back to that moment in time now. And just notice how it feels to just relax. See what's there around you, hear any sounds, including silence. And feel how it feels to just relax. And when you're ready, I'd like for you to imagine that by your side is the basket of a hot air balloon. And I'd like for you to hop into that basket and turn up the gas and fill up the balloon above. And just watch yourself. And feel how it feels to just float all the way up, above where you're sitting, in that hot air balloon, to a nice, safe, comfortable height above where you are. Imagine Keeps going all the way up into the clouds, nice and high, nice and safe. And then take yourself in that hot air balloon basket all the way out into the future, to the end of your day tomorrow. So whatever time you would normally go to sleep tomorrow, float out to 15 minutes after you've gone to bed tomorrow night. Turn that hot air balloon basket around, make sure you stay up in the clouds the whole time, and then notice your day tomorrow turning out exactly how you want it to be. See what you want to see, hear what you want to hear, and feel exactly how you want to feel throughout your whole day. Make it exactly how you want it to be. Totally how you want it to be. And notice how good that feels. Having your day turn out exactly how you want it to be. And when you're feeling good, just take that hot air balloon back to where you are. Lay that safely by your side. Pop out of that balloon. And open your eyes and come back into the room. Feeling refreshed, energised, and happy.
You come back every month. That's like the quietest I've ever seen an audience. That's fantastic.
So how was that? Who's feeling great about their day tomorrow? Yeah, excellent. Anyone still not sure?
Well, I've
Be
got a
honest.
day off, so it's not really...
Wow, excellent.
But it feels good.
Anyone not have it exactly how they want it? Good, really good. So if you focus on exactly what you want, you feel great, and you'll look forward to your day, and therefore you're going to create the results you want. Your thoughts and your emotions and your behaviours are intimately connected.
Now that's a technique we can apply when we need to.
You can do that on your own, anytime you need. Nice and simple.
Yep, fantastic. Now, let's talk quickly about control, I guess, managing our emotions in the sales process, leading up to the sales process, because some of us get nervous, scared. How do we manage those emotions?
Okay, there's a number of different techniques. I think visualising what you want and feeling good about it is a great start, because then you walk in feeling good. Yeah? So that's the first step. The second step is think about what you want, because your thoughts are linked to your emotions. If you're thinking about being nervous, you'll be nervous. If you're thinking about forgetting your words, you forget your words. If you're thinking about this is going to go great, you feel good about it. And it'll go great. So there's a number of techniques we have in NLP. One of them is called the process of anchoring, which basically means remembering a time in the past when you felt really confident, for example, because confidence is a really great state to be in when you go into a meeting, isn't it? Yeah. And you've all felt confidence before, haven't you? Yeah. About anything. Might not have been sales, could have been about anything. So it doesn't matter what it was, as long as you've felt that confidence, you'll be able to recall it again. So think about it now. I want you to think of a time when you were really confident. Can you all think about that? A time in the past you were confident about anything at all. Yeah. Do you feel the confidence as you think about that time? Yeah. So if you were to capture that emotion in a certain part of your physiology, whether it be in a fist, a knuckle, what that does, it creates what we call an anchor. So every time you press that knuckle or fire off your fist, that emotion comes up for you automatically. Okay. So very, very powerful.
Fantastic. Would you be able to email me that info and I can email it out to the guys? How to do an anchor? Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. Fantastic. Now, was that helpful?
Yes.
Yeah, give a round of applause for it. Now we'll pass it over to Tina. We're now that you're all relaxed, we're gonna talk about IT. Sorry, Tina, that wasn't a good segue there, was it? Now let's talk about online sales. So for some of us who don't like the selling process, we can always do online sales. Give us an example. I know you worked on the Lord of the Rings campaign for the launch of the movie. Tell us a bit about that. How did that work?
Well, that was actually a bit of a fun project, really. But the results were reasonably astonishing. We set up a webcam on Courtney Place. This was for the launch of the Lord of the Rings, which happened in Wellington, and they rolled out this big, huge, massive red carpet down the middle of the street, right up to the doors of the Embassy Picture Theatre. And we did a website with a countdown, so many days left, so many minutes left for the launch of the Lord of the Rings. And I think the site was only up for a couple of weeks, but with the speed of the internet, word got around. And we brought the whole Telecom Wellington network down.
That's deserve a round of applause.
Because people had found out that they could witness the whole event online, of course, through the webcam in real time, and had a fantastic result in between clinking champagnes and nervous Twitters about what might happen
So
tomorrow.
there was almost a call to action for people to go to the website because of the countdown, in a sense, wasn't there?
In a sense, yes, and I think people, again it comes back to what do people want to see, what do people want from you, and sometimes you don't even know what that might be. There are unexpected results, but in this particular case it was such a big deal, and because it was an event which was occurring in Wellington, and it's such a small little country with not a lot of exciting things happening, such as that it was a really big deal, and people who obviously couldn't be there were able to tap in, have a look at what was going on, and feel part of the action.
So when you sit down with a business, because you've worked with me heavily on the Nationwide Networking website. When you sit down with a business owner and look at the sales process, what are some of the first things that the business owner needs to look at before they even, see a website designer?
That's probably a big list, but if I keep it in relation to what we're talking about here, one of the key things to look at is what is the sales process that is operating offline? What are the products and services that you're selling? How do you sell those? And then how would you translate that buying process to the online environment? So again, what that means, if we're looking at serving the customer, the first question to ask is, who is the customer? And we might have 3 or 4 different customer groups, if you like, within the realm of our business. And some of those would be more important to us than others. However, we may be able to service one particular client better than another because of where we're at in our own evolution, or where our business is at in its evolution. So it's a matter of firstly identifying who is the ideal prospect for my business. Who are my customers? And my customers come to me at different points, or I have interactions with these customers at different points. So I have people who are new customers who I've never dealt with before. We could call those cold customers. We have customers that we've worked with for quite some time, and they're at a mature stage of their business, and we're at a mature stage in the relationship. Those customers have different needs